The deadly Pearl Harbor attacks, it's a day which will live in infamy. Today marks 76 years since the Japanese attack on the island of Oahu, Hawaii. And this morning, people in the valley honored those who lost their lives in the attack. News Channel 3's Jeremy Chin spoke with some veterans, including one who survived the attack, as the valley remembers that fateful day.
USS Oklahoma, USS West Tennessee.
The names of every battleship sunk in the Pearl Harbor attack were read at the Palm Springs Air Museum. Thursday marks the 76th anniversary of the attack that led to the American entry into World War II. In all, 8 battleships were sunk and thousands of Americans were killed that day.
It came as a complete shock to everyone, I think, and all the way to Washington.
Blaine Mack was a high school senior when the attacks happened and heard it all over the radio. Mack says he saw a sense of patriotism he had never seen before, so many, including himself, compelled to fight for our country.
By the time we graduated, all of these people that were in the class with me, almost every one of them, within 3 or 4 months was in the service.
Army Air Corps veteran Bernard Rubian survived the attack and has vivid memories of that day. He says he was sleeping in the barracks at Hickam Airfield when the Japanese began attacking. After hearing bombs and machine gun fire, he remembers seeing a Japanese plane strafing his barracks.
You could see the gunner, and you could see his teeth, and he was either smiling or grimacing.
President Franklin Roosevelt famously declared the attacks in a speech as, quote, a date which will live in infamy. Staff at the Palm Springs Air Museum say that feeling was widely shared then.
December 7th, 1941 is one of those cataclysmic events that everybody that was alive at that time remembers where they were, what they were doing, and they also understand how their lives changed radically after that.
Both veterans say as the Pearl Harbor attacks become more distant in history, they want the younger generation to understand and defend what their country means to them.
Preparing, ready to go if something should happen.
This is the greatest land that God ever allowed us to have. We need to protect it. We need to make sure that it continues on.
Jeremy Chen, News Channel 3, Palm Springs.